1. The beginning? From a boy in New York to a driven young man. The story of Donald Trump, how it all began. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in the borough of Queens, New York City, in the United States of America. He was the fourth of 5 children in a family that was already familiar with business, money, and ambition. Trump grew up in a comfortable environment, but his life was far from ordinary. His father, Fred Trump, was a successful real estate developer who built thousands of middle-class housing units in New York. Fred Trump was known as a strict, disciplined man who believed strongly in hard work, competition, and winning. His mother, Mary Ann MacLeod Trump, was an immigrant from Scotland. She came to the United States as a young woman and built a new life for herself. She was described as kind, elegant, and strong-minded, and she had a great influence on Donald's personality. From an early age, Donald Trump showed signs that he was different from other children. He was energetic, confident, outspoken, and sometimes aggressive. He loved attention and enjoyed being in control. Teachers often described him as intelligent but difficult to manage. He did not like following rules, and he always wanted to prove that he was better than others. A difficult child and a tough decision. By the time Donald was 13 years old, his behavior had become a serious concern for his parents. He was restless, rebellious, and often got into trouble at school. Fred Trump believed that his son needed discipline and structure, not punishment, so he made a life-changing decision. Donald was sent to the New York Military Academy, a private boarding school known for its strict rules and military-style discipline. This decision would shape Donald Trump's future in ways no one could imagine at the time. Life at the Military Academy. At the Military Academy, life was tough. The days were long, the rules were strict, and discipline was enforced at every moment. Students wore uniforms, followed orders, and were trained to be punctual and organized. At first, Donald struggled, but slowly something changed. Instead of breaking him, the military environment sharpened his personality. He learned how to compete, how to lead, and how to use discipline to his advantage. Trump later said that the academy taught him confidence, leadership, and toughness. He became a strong student and even rose to leadership positions among his classmates. He learned an important lesson that would follow him throughout his life. In life, you either dominate or you get dominated. University years and big dreams. After graduating from the military academy, Donald Trump attended Fordham University in New York. However, he did not stay there long. After 2 years, he transferred to the Wharton School of Finance and Commerce at the University of Pennsylvania, one of the most prestigious business schools in the United States. At Wharton, Trump studied economics, finance, and real estate. He was fascinated by large deals, big numbers, and powerful business strategies. Even as a student, Donald Trump dreamed big. He did not want a small business. He did not want a quiet life. He wanted power, fame, success, and to build something that would carry his name. Graduation and a clear path. Donald Trump graduated from Wharton in 1968. At that moment, he stood at the beginning of his professional life with a powerful advantage. His father's real estate company, Elizabeth Trump and Son. But Donald was not satisfied with simply working for his father. He wanted to take the family business to a new level, far beyond Brooklyn and Queens. He wanted Manhattan. He wanted luxury buildings, skyscrapers, and national attention. And this ambition would soon push him into a world full of risk, success, failure, controversy, and fame. Part 2. Entering the world of power, real estate, risk, and the rise of the Trump name stepping into the family business. After graduating from the Wharton School in 1968, Donald Trump officially joined his father's company, Elizabeth Trump and Son. At the time, the business focused mainly on building and managing middle-class housing in Brooklyn, Queens, and other outer areas of New York City. The company was successful and stable, but Donald Trump was not interested in stability. He was ambitious, bold, and impatient. He believed the future was not in small buildings, but in big cities, big deals, and big visibility. From the very beginning, Donald wanted to do things differently from his father, while Fred Trump preferred safe, predictable projects. Donald wanted risk. He wanted to move the business into Manhattan, the heart of New York City, where competition was fierce and failure was common. Many people thought this dream was unrealistic. The first big gamble, Manhattan. In the early 1970s, Manhattan was not the glamorous place it is today. Large parts of the city were struggling with crime, financial problems, and abandoned buildings. Investors were afraid to put their money there. Donald Trump saw something different. He saw opportunity. One of his first major projects was the Commodore Hotel, an old and failing hotel near Grand Central Station. The building was outdated, losing money, and almost forgotten. Most investors stayed away. Donald Trump did the opposite. The Commodore Hotel deal. Trump convinced the city of New York to give him huge tax breaks, arguing that renovating the hotel would help revive the area and create jobs. It was a risky move. He borrowed large amounts of money, negotiated aggressively, and partnered with a major hotel chain. In 1980, the Commodore Hotel reopened as the Grand Hyatt New York. The result was a massive success. The hotel became profitable, popular, and symbolic of Manhattan's revival. This deal changed everything. Donald Trump was no longer just Fred Trump's son. He was now a rising star in real estate, building the Trump brand. After the success of the Grand Hyatt, Trump's confidence grew rapidly. He understood something very important. Success is not only about money, it is about image. Donald Trump focused heavily on branding. He put his name on buildings in large golden letters. Trump, the name, became a symbol of luxury, wealth, and power. He believed that his name itself was valuable. Soon, Trump began working on one of his most famous projects, Trump Tower. Trump Tower, a symbol of power. Trump Tower was built on Fifth Avenue, one of the most expensive and prestigious locations in the world. The building included luxury apartments, offices, high-end stores, gold-colored interiors. When it opened in 1983, it became a global symbol of wealth. Trump Tower was not just a building, it was a statement. It said, "Donald Trump has arrived." The media loved him. Newspapers, magazines, and television shows began talking about Trump constantly. He was bold, confident, and never afraid to speak about his success. Fame and media attention. Unlike many businessmen, Donald Trump enjoyed being in the spotlight. He gave interviews. He made bold claims. He talked about winning, dominance, and greatness. Trump understood the power of media better than most people. Even negative attention helped him. He once said, "There's no such thing as bad publicity." During the 1980s, Trump became a celebrity businessman. He appeared on magazine covers and was known far beyond the world of real estate. Expanding the empire with success came expansion. Trump invested in all casinos in Atlantic City, luxury hotels, golf courses, private jets, high-profile properties. He lived a life of extreme luxury. He owned expensive cars, private airplanes, and penthouses. His lifestyle became part of his public image. To many people, Donald Trump represented the American dream, a man who built wealth, power, and fame. But behind the scenes, things were becoming more complicated. The dark side of rapid growth. Trump's aggressive expansion required huge loans and massive debt. He believed that growth was everything, but risk was always close. Some of his projects succeeded, others struggled. By the late 1980s, warning signs began to appear. The economy was changing. The real estate market became unstable. Trump's debts grew larger and larger. His empire looked strong on the outside, but inside, pressure was building. A turning point approaches. As the 1990s approached, Donald Trump stood at the peak of fame and wealth, but life was about to test him hard. The next chapter of his story would not be about success alone, but about failure, debt, and survival. And many believed this would be the end of Donald Trump. They were wrong. Part 3: Collapse, Crisis, and Survival. The fall of a giant. At the beginning of the 1990s, Donald Trump faced the most dangerous moment of his life. His rapid expansion during the 1980s had left him with billions of dollars in debt. The real estate market collapsed, interest rates increased, and many of his businesses began losing money. Trump's casinos in Atlantic City struggled badly. Banks started to worry. Soon, the media reported shocking headlines. Donald Trump is close to bankruptcy. At one point, Trump personally owed banks more than $900 million. His image as a perfect businessman was destroyed. Humiliation and pressure. Trump had to sell his private jet, his yacht, parts of his real estate empire. He went from extreme luxury to fighting for survival. Many people enjoyed watching his fall. Others believed his career was finished forever. Trump later admitted, "It was the toughest time of my life," but he refused to disappear. Negotiating his way back. Instead of giving up, Trump did what he knew best: negotiation. He met with bankers and convinced them that keeping him alive was better than destroying him. He was still valuable as a brand. Banks restructured his debt instead of forcing total bankruptcy. This decision saved him. Trump learned painful but important lessons. Debt can destroy you, image matters, but reality matters more. Survival requires humility and toughness. Slowly, he began rebuilding. Part 4: Reinvention, Fame, and the Road to the White House. The Comeback. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Trump reinvented himself. Instead of focusing only on owning buildings, he focused on licensing his name. Hotels, golf courses, and properties around the world carried the Trump brand, even if he did not own them fully. Then came the turning point. The Apprentice. Global fame. In 2004, Donald Trump became the host of the TV show The Apprentice. The show was a massive success. Trump's phrase, "You're fired," became world famous. Millions of people now knew Trump not just as a businessman, but as a strong, decisive leader. His public image was reborn. Entering politics. For years, Trump talked about politics, but few took him seriously. In 2015, he shocked the world by announcing his candidacy for President of the United States. Many laughed, many criticized him. The media attacked him constantly. But Trump understood something powerful. People were angry, frustrated, and tired of traditional politicians. He spoke directly, aggressively, and without filters. Victory, against all odds, against all predictions. Donald Trump won the 2016 U.S. presidential election. He became the 45th President of the United States at the age of 70. It was one of the most surprising political victories in modern history. A controversial presidency. Trump's presidency was full of controversy, strong supporters, strong enemies, media battles. Some saw him as a fighter for ordinary people. Others saw him as divisive and dangerous. But no one could ignore him. The legacy. Donald Trump's story is not a simple success story. It is a story of privilege and ambition, success and failure, collapse and comeback, fame, power, and controversy. Love him or hate him, Donald Trump proved one thing. He never stopped fighting to stay in the game.